Welcome back to The Price of Business. This is already the final segment of today's show, and it's going to be a good one. Geetinder Goyal, Dr. Goyal is here in the house. He's with OurWayHealth.com. He's a regular contributor on the Price of Business, bringing us a healthy perspective, not only on our own self-care, but also in the way we look at medicine, and bringing some healthy approaches to healthcare. Because let me tell you, it's become an industry, it's become a factory, and all of a sudden the least important person in the whole healthcare process is the person being treated. It's really a world flipped upside down when it comes to healthcare. Geetinder.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. You're so right, and two most important components of our healthcare industry are our patients and the physicians or the providers of healthcare, and those two are the ones I feel like most frustrated in our system. So, yes, we are approaching healthcare and especially primary care in a new way, keeping our patients and our physicians' satisfaction at the center of all that.
Yeah, Hippocrates it must be flipping in his grave, huh?
Yeah.
You think of the Hippocratic Oath every physician took.
Yeah.
Which summarize the oath for me.
The basic premise of the oath is to do whatever you do in healthcare for your patients. Your patients are who you're working for, and do no harm. And help your patient, basically.
And how do you do that when your primary driver is money? And insurance companies and government agencies that are going to hold you accountable in a criminal sort of way in your effort to take care of your patient? I mean, it's crazy.
It is. I think our healthcare industry is overregulated. Too much administration, too much administrative costs, and we have lost our way a little bit in our healthcare. Yes, regulation is important, but too much regulation comes in the way, suppresses innovation, and has made our system into a bloated giant, which is not working for two most important components of our healthcare system, our patients and physicians.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about what doctors are doing. I keep reading stories of large numbers of medical doctors leaving the profession entirely. Are you seeing those stories as well?
Absolutely, and we hear them every day, and the shift is happening more in primary care. Our primary care doctors are our frontline doctors, but they are leaving the system. Medical students, if you talk to our medical students, hardly you will meet anybody who wants to be a primary care physician anymore. Everybody wants to be a specialist. Everybody wants to do procedures. The procedures and the specialties, they pay more. And the primary care reimbursements have been squeezed more and more over time. And that's what we need to change. We need to value our primary care doctors again. Yeah, that's what's gonna bring our medical students back into primary care,
and that's what you're trying to do with your new business model.
Absolutely,
is to really So the reason why everyone's becoming a specialist is so they can get away from insurance companies. It's really one of the main reasons why they're doing it. They're trying to get more and more cash-oriented, less and less insurance companies involved. And people haven't been able to figure out how to do that with primary care physicians. You have figured out how to do that with this, essentially business healthcare model. Talk about the model.
The model is a simple monthly membership flat fee system. It's like going to a gym where you pay a monthly membership and you can get access to all the services. It has several advantages. The biggest advantage is you are moving away from the fee-for-service system, which incentivizes physicians to do more things, to bring people back in the clinic for reasons that they may not need to come into the office for. And so we've moved away from the fee-for-service and removed the barriers to patient care. Patients don't like to go to doctor's office because of the long wait times, because of the co-pays, very little face time with the physician. So we have removed all the barriers, increased the face time with the physicians so people can actually go see their primary care doctors. We're bringing time back into a patient-physician relationship, which will hopefully allow us to build trust with our patients.
Talk a little bit about what you see happening as far as physicians looking at your model.
Yeah, that's one of my main areas of focus, basically raising awareness of this model amongst the physician communities, especially in primary care. And, primary care doctors, as one physician, carries a patient panel of 3,000 to 4,000 patients. And in each day, they are seeing about 30 patients in their clinic. The reimbursements, however, are going down. So what you are getting paid for doing that work has gone down, and the operating costs have gone up. And that is, again, the main reason physicians are leaving primary care. So in our model, you can lower your operating costs. You can lower your patient panels significantly to about 500-600 patients. You don't have to see as many patients in the clinic every day. So from a physician standpoint, this is really a model where it allows you to practice medicine the way you were called to practice. Mm-hmm. You can proactively manage and feel like you're providing genuine care instead of just putting a bandage on symptoms or acting as gatekeepers to push patients into upstream services which are more expensive, like specialists, expensive radiology tests, surgeries. So for physicians, I think our primary care physicians, this is a great model to come try.
And unless people like going to specialists, I don't know anyone who does. We need competent, patient-oriented primary care to prevent people from being pushed up the line. And frankly, we need to create a medical culture that incentivizes some of those who chose to become specialists, some of which have no extra credentials to be specialists, but are specialists in name only and only meet the minimum qualifications because they're trying to bail themselves out of a crazy healthcare system, to have an incentive to come back to primary care healthcare. Don't you think?
I agree. And I think, for example, if you are a cardiologist and the patient has mainly cardiology problems, I think you can very well be his primary care doctor as a cardiologist. Mm-hmm. And so I think it is, again, the mindset that I'm a specialist, I can't be the primary care doctor, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, from what I read, particularly in the aesthetics field, so many of them meet the minimum requirements, and they were really primary care, healthcare people. It's not to disparage people in the aesthetics field, but there were people who were always for years. Many of them were for years primary care physicians who said, "You know what? I can't make any money doing this. I'm gonna, or this is way too much work for the money I get. I'm going to become, essentially an aesthetics expert." And really, they don't enjoy it anymore, but they worked hard to get their degree and they want to make a living. This, to me, it seems like a way back to something that's more sensible for everyone.
Yeah. Our system doesn't pay you for spending time to educate patients, families. It doesn't pay primary care physicians to coordinate care. There are times you're going to need specialist visits, but your primary care can still play a huge role in coordinating and helping you as a patient get the best out of that specialist visit. But our system doesn't reimburse you for that. So by moving away from fee-for-service and doing a monthly membership,
makes so much sense.
It frees the primary care physician to work for the patient.
Yes.
And our patients need that. You need a physician in your corner watching your back.
The rates are so reasonable. What you're mentioning, and you're still working on the economic model itself, but around $85 a month. I mean, that's just ridiculous to have unlimited health care, essentially.
Yes, unlimited primary care.
Yeah,
and
primary care. Yeah, exactly.
And
if you get good unlimited primary care, you're not likely to need, or as much likely to need, the specialty care.
80 to 90% of the healthcare problems that a person will face in a lifetime can be handled in a primary care physician's office.
There you go.
Yeah. So when you start thinking of purchasing healthcare, first thing you got to do is figure out how you get good quality access to primary care, and then worry about things that are unpredictable or unforeseen. Primary care is predictable. You know you're going to need it, and it's much better to buy cash or pay cash for that.
No question about it. Geetinder Goyal, Dr. Goyal, OurWayHealth.com. Regular contributor on the Price of Business. We're going to start having some stories of some innovative companies that are doing cool things for their employees, and I think fits into some of what we're talking about here, as well as innovative ways of protecting companies, ensuring their employees. And so I'm looking forward to that. Plus, we're going to have occasional visits like this because I think what you're doing is so helpful, educating my audience that you don't have to be treated like someone at a deli picking up, a ham or whatever. You can be treated like a human being, get the kind of time you need with a doctor. To me, is transformative. And I know so many people whom I've already begun to speak to personally who have complained, who doesn't complain about their doctor's visit and how you can make it different. So I think it's awesome. OurWayHealth.com. Thanks so much again.
Thank you for having me again.
All right, we'll be back with you tomorrow. Between now and then, do want to encourage you to check us out at priceofbusiness.com and usdailyreview.com. Have a great day. Spend it wisely right here on this station.